What if the real battle isn't out there in the world, but inside your own mind? Think about it. How many times have you felt overwhelmed, stressed, anxious, not because something terrible happened, but because your mind spun a story, imagined the worst, and dragged you into a storm that didn't even exist? We all do it. Life throws curveballs, a missed call, a cold silence, a piece of bad news, and suddenly we're spiraling. But here's the question no one asks. What if you could train your mind to stay calm, clear, and unshakable no matter what? That's exactly what Seneca, one of the wisest Stoic philosophers, figured out. And today, you and I are going to walk through 6 of his most powerful lessons. Not, but real. And finally, find peace from the inside out. Ready? Let's get into it. Focus like a Stoic. Why multitasking fails. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. Seneca. Let's be honest. How often do you feel like your brain is running in 5 different directions, but you're not really getting anywhere? We live in a world that praises multitasking. The busier you are, the more important you seem. The more you juggle, the more you're crushing it, right? But Seneca wasn't fooled. He saw it for what it really is, a trap. Because when your attention is split, your energy is diluted, you're everywhere except here, present but not really present. And that kind of living, it doesn't just drain your focus, it robs you of depth, of peace, of meaning. Marcus Aurelius echoed this idea when he said, concentrate every minute like a Roman on doing what's in front of you, not rushing, not checking your phone while half listening, but giving everything your full mind, your full heart to the task or the person right in front of you. When you do that, something shifts. The chaos fades. The noise gets quieter. And you reclaim something that's been slipping through your fingers, your presence, and your peace. This isn't just about being productive. It's about showing up fully for your life. And that's something most people never do. So the next time you're pulled in 5 directions, pause, breathe, choose one thing, do it well, and honor the moment you're in. That's the Stoic way. Master your mind, end emotional overwhelm. All the greatest torments are the result of an undisciplined mind. Seneca. Here's a hard truth: most of our suffering doesn't come from what's happening around us. It comes from the storm inside us. A friend doesn't text back. Suddenly, your mind is spinning stories. Did I say something wrong? Are they mad at me? Am I being ignored? Before anything actually happens, we're already in pain. Seneca saw this clearly. He understood that an untrained mind can take a tiny spark and turn it into a wildfire of anxiety, fear, or shame. But here's the gift of Stoicism. You're not powerless. You don't have to be a prisoner of your reactions. Stoicism doesn't ask you to suppress your emotions. It invites you to understand them, to pause, to breathe, and to ask with curiosity, not judgment, why am I reacting this way? What's the fear beneath this feeling? When we do that, we shift from reaction to reflection, from chaos to calm, from torment to truth. Epictetus said it beautifully. No man is free who is not master of himself. And mastery doesn't mean perfection. It means choosing awareness over autopilot. It means recognizing that while you can't always control what life throws at you, you can always choose how you interpret it and how you respond. That's real freedom. That's real strength. And that's the beginning of peace. Premeditatio, Malorum, the Stoic secret to resilience. Rehearse them in your mind. Exile, torture, war, shipwreck. Seneca. At first glance, that sounds grim, right? Why would anyone willingly imagine the worst? Why picture loss, pain, or betrayal before it even happens? But Seneca wasn't trying to scare us. He was handing us a shield. This practice, called Premeditatio Malorum, isn't about dwelling in darkness. It's about building mental armor. Think of it like this. Athletes train under pressure to prepare for real games. Firefighters run drills before the fire breaks out. So why don't we train our minds the same way? When you imagine the worst, not obsessively but purposefully, you take away its power to shock you. You lose your job. You've already rehearsed how you'll respond calmly with clarity and a plan. Someone betrays your trust. You've already reminded yourself people are fallible, and you are resilient. This doesn't make you cold. It makes you ready. It makes you the person who doesn't crumble when things go sideways, because you've already stood in that storm in your mind and decided who you'll be when it comes. And there's something else. When you truly confront how bad things could be, you begin to appreciate how good things already are. You stop sweating the small stuff. You become less reactive, more grounded, more alive. So don't fear the practice of imagining hardship. Embrace it. It's not about expecting the worst. It's about being prepared to rise no matter what comes. Build mental strength through voluntary discomfort. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Seneca. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you chose the harder path, not because you had to, but because you knew it would make you stronger? Seneca understood a truth we often resist. Real strength isn't built in comfort. It's forged in challenge. Just like your muscles grow through resistance, your mind grows through voluntary hardship. That means stepping into discomfort on purpose, speaking in front of a crowd when your hands are shaking, taking on a difficult project at work instead of playing it safe, saying no when it would be easier to just go along. These aren't punishments, they're practice for life's real trials when the stakes are higher and the ground is shaking. The Stoics weren't fans of suffering for its own sake. This isn't about being hard on yourself. It's about becoming someone who knows. I've been here before. I can do hard things. And here's the quiet gift of choosing the difficult path. It resets your definition of ease. When you know you can endure discomfort, cold mornings, tough conversations, moments of fear, you stop needing everything to be easy. You stop running, you stop hiding, and you start meeting life head-on with a quiet, unshakable confidence. So the next time something feels a little scary, a little uncomfortable, lean in. That's not weakness. That's the edge of your growth. And on the other side, a stronger, wiser version of you waiting. Overcome anxiety. Stop suffering in your imagination. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. You felt it. We all have. That moment when your mind grabs a tiny uncertainty, and turns it into a full-blown catastrophe. Your boss walks past without a smile, you're already fired in your head. A friend takes too long to reply, you're sure they're upset or worse, abandoning you. Sound familiar? Seneca saw through this trap. He knew that most of our suffering doesn't come from the world itself, but from the stories we tell ourselves about it. And those stories, they're usually fiction. Our imagination, when left unchecked, becomes a factory of fear. It magnifies minor discomfort into full-scale doom. It makes shadows look like monsters. But here's the Stoic shift. What if, instead of spiraling into, "Why me?" you paused and asked, "What is this moment inviting me to become? What strength is this discomfort calling out of me? What lesson is hidden in this silence, this delay, this unexpected turn?" Stoicism isn't about pretending things are perfect. It's about seeing them clearly, without distortion, without drama. Because when you stop feeding the story, you start reclaiming your power. You learn to meet life with a calm, focused mind, one that doesn't jump to conclusions, but stays rooted in the present. And in that space between stimulus and response, you find something rare: freedom. So next time your mind starts spiraling into what-ifs, pause, breathe, remind yourself, not everything I think is true. And often the reality is far gentler than the storm I imagined. That's not weakness, that's wisdom, and it's yours if you choose it. The power of solitude. Find clarity within. Retire into yourself as much as possible. Seneca. This isn't about shutting the world out. It's about finally tuning in to you. We're constantly connected. Notifications, emails, headlines, endless scrolling, and yet somehow we're more disconnected than ever from our thoughts, our values, our inner compass. Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, they all knew something we're starting to forget. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's clarity. It's not the absence of people, it's the presence of yourself. When you retire into yourself, you're not running away from life. You're stepping back so you can return to it with intention. You're giving your soul room to breathe, your mind a place to rest, and your heart a chance to realign. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That space inside you, quiet, steady, untouched by the noise, that's where you find your strength. Because here's the truth. You can't hear your intuition when the world is shouting. You can't know what truly matters to you if you never pause to ask. And you won't live with purpose if you're always chasing someone else's pace. So take time. Turn off the noise. Sit with yourself. Ask the real questions. Am I living in alignment with what I value? What do I need to release? What do I want to create? And when you emerge from that silence, you'll carry with you a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances, a clarity that no chaos can shake, and a strength that comes not from control, but from deep, quiet self-knowledge. Retiring into yourself isn't a retreat from life. It's the most powerful way to return to it. Seneca didn't just talk about resilience, he embodied it. And the truth is, you can too. Every one of these lessons, from focusing your mind to facing your fears, isn't just ancient philosophy. It's a daily practice, a mindset, a way of living with purpose even when life gets messy. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming present choosing strength over chaos, wisdom over reaction, peace over panic. So the next time life knocks you off balance, pause, breathe. Remember, you were born to stand in the storm and remain unshaken. If this message touched something in you, if you feel a little clearer, a little stronger, don't keep it to yourself. Like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Subscribe to the channel so you never walk the Stoic path alone. Together, we're building a community of grounded minds and open hearts, and I'm honored to walk this journey with you. Stay strong, stay stoic, and keep walking the Stoic path.